So Christopher Walken plays King Louis in this movie, and there's a cowbell reference. I mean, is there anything else I really have to say for you to go see this? Seriously. So The Jungle Book is a modern, live-action retelling of the Disney animated classic, The Jungle Book. Neil Sethi plays Mowgli, who is labeled as the man-cub when he is found by the Black Panther Bagheera, played by Ben Kingsley, and is taken to the jungle to be raised by the wolves. The jungle is experiencing this drought in which all the animals agree not to kill one another and are at peace. And then a tiger named Shere Khan, played by Idris Elba, comes into the picture, letting the pack of wolves know that once this drought is over and once it starts raining again, this peace treaty is over. And he's going to come after Mowgli and he's going to kill him. And basically, to ensure the safety of his pack and his family, Mowgli decides to leave the pack and go off with Bagheera, who is vowing to take him to the human camp. So the first thing you notice when you go to see this movie is that this movie is absolutely stunning. The CGI work is incredible. It's some of the best CGI work you will ever see, and definitely the best CGI work you will see this year, or at least so far. The main thing about this movie is that this is some of the most realistic CGI you will ever see, at least for today's standards. The forest is beautiful, the animals are extremely detailed, and you can just see the emotion radiating out of their eyes. And in some instances, you can even tell which actors are which. All of the performances in this movie are extremely solid. Bill Murray as Baloo was possibly one of the best casting choices they could have made. He absolutely nailed it, making jokes left and right and really embodying the character that is Baloo and modernizing it and making it his own. Bagheera, played by Ben Kingsley, also nailed it, and he basically acted as the voice of reason throughout the film. Now, when it comes to Idris Elba as Shere Khan, he absolutely stole this movie. Whenever Shere Khan is on screen, you are watching him. He is the most intimidating and terrifying villain of this year so far. Shere Khan is relentlessly terrifying and basically everything you want in a villain, especially for one that is a tiger. Some other favorites of this movie that I had were Christopher Walken as King Louis, the big orangutan or monkey or whatever he is. He was hilarious. As soon as you see King Louis in this movie, you start hearing his voice at first, and then you realize it's Christopher Walken, and then you can even see it in his eyes that it's Christopher Walken. And he was absolutely hilarious and intimidating at the same time, and he kind of gave off this Godfather vibe that just really worked. The entire lot of characters in this movie and the lot of animals that you see, they all have great chemistry with one another, and it all feels like a really well put together, living, breathing world with a ton of history. And now I did have some issues in this movie, although they are extremely minute and it's literally just nitpicking. Scarlett Johansson is in this movie and she plays the snake Kaa, and that's all fine and dandy. However, I felt like her part was really short, and the scene with Kaa felt like it was specifically used just to provide exposition for the story. Although it answered a whole bunch of questions that needed to be answered and filled in a whole bunch of plot holes that I was wondering about, it just felt like, hey, we need to tell you some things, so sit down and listen, audience. I also had an issue with how much they showed of Mowgli's struggle with trying to be a wolf. I wish they would have showed a little bit more in terms of his relationship with the pack and basically how long he has struggled to be one of them. I also wish that they would have expanded upon Mowgli's relationship with Baloo, because although the chemistry is there and it works out great, I felt like there could have been a little bit more just to make us care more about both characters. And I guess another small issue that I had with this movie is that there was only 2 songs used from the original Jungle Book, which is fine. I was not expecting this movie to be any type of musical or anything like that. They used Bare Necessities and Wanna Be Like You, basically the song sung by Baloo or Bill Murray, and the song sung by King Louis or Christopher Walken. Now, when they integrate Bare Necessities into the movie, it feels organic and it doesn't feel forced. And it's, basically a little homage to the original film. But when they use Wanna Be Like You, although it was done really well and Christopher Walken singing as a monkey was just great, it just felt really out of place because it was significantly more musical in tone than Bare Necessities. And since there's only 2 songs to base this on, it just kind of felt like, hey, remember that Jungle Book movie in the 60s? Well, we're gonna say some stuff from it. Here it is. But at the end of the day, guys, The Jungle Book is an example of what great CGI can be. And this movie is basically going to be the standard bearer for all live-action Disney movies in the future. Because if you didn't know, they're basically making all of the classic Disney movies into live-action features. The Jungle Book has great characters, a great story, great chemistry among the characters, great technical prowess, and great directing and cinematography, all to tie it in to basically make one of the first must-see movies of 2016. You're going to have a lot of fun seeing this movie, and it's just going to put a giant smile on your face. And if you haven't seen the original, that might even be better for you. This is a movie for a new generation. And if you have seen the original movie, the final shot of this film will put a massive smile on your face as you leave the theater. The Jungle Book is a great film. So I'm going to go ahead and give it an 8 out of 10. The Jungle Book. Have you seen it? Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. If you like this video, please hit like. If you want to see any of my upcoming reviews, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one.